Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Biker Caliente and I'm here in the Caliente garage and I just want to share with you my antifreeze leak that I'm experiencing with my Honda Goldwing. So stay tuned to this video and we're going to talk about my antifreeze leak that I've been having. So let's get started. Goldwing Rider. A shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, who is fearless in a world of reckless automobiles. These are Caliente motovlogs. This is Biker Caliente here in the Caliente garage, and I just want to share with you my experiencing that I've been having with my 2021 Honda Goldwing DCT model. My current Goldwing has less than 30,000 miles. I actually purchased this Honda Goldwing brand new from the Honda dealership, and I've only put less than 30,000 miles on this Honda Goldwing. At the time of purchase, I actually picked up an extended warranty. The Honda Goldwing comes with a standard 3 years unlimited mile warranty, and I picked up an additional 5 years extended warranty for a total of 8. So I just wanted to make sure that I was fully covered for the duration of owning my Honda Goldwing. But I've been noticing over the past couple months that I've been having an antifreeze leak, and I could not figure out where it was coming from. So I tried to lay on the ground. I couldn't see the leak. I tried to shine a flashlight through the bike. I couldn't see the leak. The bike was never running hot, but I just would have a little bit of antifreeze on the ground. And it was not all the time. It was kind of inconsistent, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So here lately, when Honda came out with this Honda Bolt recall, I figured this would be a good time or a good opportunity to have Honda perform the recall. And at the same time, I wanted them to check my bike for an antifreeze leak, as well as change all of the fluids and service the bike while they actually had it. So to make a long story short, the Bolt recall went well. They said they was able to perform the recall off the side of the bike. So I think they moved the alternator, or they worked off the sides of the bike. They didn't have to remove the seat. But the dealership did confirm that I had a leak with my coolant system. They said that it's most likely around the top of the engine, but in order for them to perform the work, they would need to take out the fuel tank. They will need to pretty much tear the bike all the way down just to access the top of the engine. So at this point, I contacted my warranty because I picked up the extended warranty for my Honda Goldwing. Now, the extended warranty for my Honda Goldwing is not through Honda. If any of you have that particular warranty, you can put it down in the comment section below. If you have the compress warranty for your Honda Goldwing, they do not warranty clamps. So I wasn't sure what was leaking on my bike. I wasn't sure if it was a hose or if it was a clamp. I knew it was not major because there was not a lot of antifreeze on the ground. And once again, the bike wasn't running hot. But I was always wondering, where was this leak coming from? So to make a long story short, the dealership performed the Bolt recall, but they said that in order for them to deal with the antifreeze leak, they're going to have to remove the fuel tank and pretty much tear the bike all the way down. The dealership wanted $1,500 just to remove the wires. As you know, I have a bunch of aftermarket lights on my bike. Many of you that are like me, when you get your Goldwing, you want to dress it up. Well, you got to have a place to put your wires. And underneath the seat is probably where majority of Goldwing owners put their wires. So the dealership said, hey, we need to remove the wires, but it's going to cost $1,500 just to deal with your wires. That was not including tearing the bike down. That was not including dealing with the leak. That's just removing the wires out of their way so they can get down to the top of the engine. So at this point, I decided, since the warranty department said they didn't cover clamps, the dealership said they wasn't sure if it was coming from a clamp or if it was coming from a hose, but they did verify that I had a leak. So with that being said, I picked my bike up from the dealership after they performed the boat recall, and I decided that I'll deal with the antifreeze leak a little bit later, because once again, the bike don't run hot, and it's not like it's putting a lot of antifreeze on the ground. I just noticed, just a small amount of antifreeze. So to make a long story short, I constantly tried to figure out where is this leak coming from. So I decided to pick up this Borescope. And the thing I like about this Borescope, it has a light on the other end, and it has a display screen. I can take pictures, or I can even take videos by looking through the tip. So I roll this little knob here up or down, and it would actually, as you can see, you can roll this thing in little tight places. This thing come in handy. It takes videos, it takes photos. I can adjust the light. Let me roll this around so I can turn the light on. It has different settings on that. It actually has a SD card, so you could actually record whatever you see through the screen. You can upload it to a computer. You can send it to via email or however you want to deal with it. But I located my leak with this Borescope. So I found my leak, and I found that the leak was actually coming from a clamp that's attached to a hose, which is connected to the thermostat of the Honda Goldwing. If you have Goldwings 2018 through 2025, the thermostat sits directly on top of the engine underneath the air box. So if you guys think it's tough changing the air filter, you got to get underneath the air box to change or to access the thermostat. Now, the thing about the thermostat is it sits under the air box, and the air box has all kinds of tubes and things connected. I don't even know how Honda even got that air box connected, but it's there. So I found the leak. I realized that the antifreeze was coming from a clamp. So I had to pretty much tear the bike down in order to access the thermostat. So I had to remove the fuel tank. But before I removed the fuel tank, I actually had to siphon the gas out of the tank. Thank God that I have the fuel caddy that I recently added to my garage. And the thing I like about the fuel caddy, it actually can siphon. So you could actually run the pump in a reverse, and it'll siphon gas out of whatever container or whatever vehicle or whatever you're using to pull gas out. So it's a two-way pump, able to pump forward and able to actually pump reverse. So I was able to drain the fuel out of the fuel tank before I could actually remove it. But before I could remove the fuel tank, I had to take out the battery box. I had to take out the battery, slide over the fuse box. I had to remove all of my wires and aftermarket wires that I have underneath the seat before I was able to take out the fuel tank. And I had to take off the side panels. I even had to remove the glove box. And fortunate enough, I was able to access the clamp without having to take off the air box. But that thermostat sits directly underneath the air box. And I found that the original Honda clamp that they used to attach the hose to the thermostat was not even tight. Once I was able to get down to that clamp, and the clamp was not even tight. So I'm not sure if the manufacturer failed to tighten the clamp. I'm not sure if somebody at the manufacturer was having a bad day. I'm not sure if they just didn't put enough torque on the clamp. I'm not 100% sure, or I'm not even sure if the clamp is actually defective. I do know that I was getting a leak from the clamp that's connected to the hose, which attaches to the thermostat. So I ended up going by the automotive store and picking up some new hose clamps. The clamp that they use is a lot thinner than the clamp that I'm holding here. And I'm actually surprised because with my experience, most automobile manufacturers at least will always use like a pressure kind of clamp that they snap around hoses. So this is the first time that I've ever seen a clamp that looks like this used from the manufacturer. So this is the first time that I've ever seen a regular clamp used on from the manufacturer. But I was able to put my own clamp, like here that I'm holding, onto the hose which goes around the thermostat. I did not remove the original clamp that Honda used, but I did move it to the side. I didn't take it off, I just moved it to the side, and I used my own clamp that I picked up, and I made sure that I got this thing nice and tight. So I'm not sure if the clamp was defective. I'm not sure if someone just failed to tighten it enough. I don't know. What I do know is that I was having a leak with antifreeze coming from that hose clamp attached to the hose because it was not tight enough. So if you guys have the Honda Goldwing, your models 2018 through 2025, and you start seeing maybe some antifreeze trails running down your engine, or maybe if you see a little bit of antifreeze on the ground and you're not sure where it's coming from, it's a possibility that it could be coming from the hoses which are attached to the thermostat. I have the Honda Goldwing completely torn down, and while I have the Honda Goldwing torn down, I'm going to just take my time and try to run my wires a little bit better for my aftermarket accessory. Which brings me to the point of the Goldstrike distribution block. If you guys have the new style Honda Goldwing, pick up the Goldstrike distribution block. This thing is a game changer. It'll run Caliente, it'll run Pathfinder, it'll run Goldstrike. You could straight wire accessories to the Goldstrike distribution block, and you can even connect a 5-wire trailer, all from the Goldstrike distribution block. You know, when Honda first made the new style Honda Goldwing, Goldstrike had their wiring harness, Caliente had their wiring harness, Showchrome had their wiring harness, everybody had their wiring harness. But now you can get the Goldstrike power distribution block. It's like an all-in-one, and it will eliminate all of those wires that you have underneath your seat with everybody different harnesses. So in the event, if you need to do the recall, or if you need, for some reason, you need to access the fuel tank or whatever, you can always unplug your accessories, and you just, you know, it'll prevent you from having a bunch of wires just running all up under your seat and you don't know where they actually go. So if you have the new style Honda Goldwing, make sure you pick up the Goldstrike power distribution block. This thing is a game changer, one of my favorite accessories that I have on my Honda Goldwing. So I'm going to take the next probably couple of days, taking my time, putting everything back, and just running my wires and making them more easier to unplug. I'm going to put some quick disconnects and things like that on my extra accessories. So in the event, for some reason, that I need to come back in here, or if I need to put it in the shop for any reason, I don't want them trying to charge me an arm and a leg just to deal with the wires for my aftermarket accessories. So unless you leave your bike stock and you don't put any lighted accessories on your bike, you're going to have some wires on your bike. There's just no way around it. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody watching this video. So I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me. With my antifreeze leak, all it was a loose clamp. I'm not sure why the manufacturer didn't have that clamp tight, or if the clamp was just defective, but I didn't want to take a chance, and I just replaced the clamp altogether with a new wider automotive clamp, because they use a little small thin clamp for some reason on the Honda Goldwing. So that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions or any comments, feel free to put it down in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you a little bit later out here in the Caliente garage.